I'ma always take the money over.
Fox Sports 910, Benjamin Garcia filling in for Jody Ayler today on The Drive. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Before we dive even deeper into the Bradley Beal, Monte Morris, how does it work out for this team? I have a really strong opinion that I've been trying to hammer home for like 4, 5, feels like 6 months now. But before I get to that, we have a giveaway on today's edition of The Drive. If you are sitting through executive producer Benjamin Garcia filling in for Jody Ayler today, we have a Diamondbacks Family 4 prize pack, a 4-pack of tickets to the D-backs game on July 13th. May the force be with you, D-backs fans. Join the D-backs for Star Wars Night at Chase Field on July 13th as they face the Toronto Blue Jays. The first 20,000 fans in attendance will receive Le Lourdes Gurriel Stormtrooper Bobble, courtesy of Cox. Secure your tickets now at dbacks.com/tickets. So the Phoenix Suns made a big move yesterday. Big move. He said, somewhat tongue-in-cheek. The potential starting lineup for the Suns. Let's talk about it. With the addition of former now Minnesota Timberwolves, former Detroit Piston, former Denver Nugget, Monte Morris out of Iowa State. The Suns got a legitimate point guard. A guy that is 46% on catch and shoot threes last year. A guy that shot 39% from three last year. Nice size, 6'3". Good size, I guess I should say. Nothing outlandish, nothing crazy. This Phoenix Suns starting lineup, I've heard a lot of people break it down like, well, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Royce O'Neal, Kevin Durant, Yusuf Nurkic. Here is my Suns starting lineup. This is how I would construct it. And then I will explain myself in just a second. I would have Monte Morris starting the point guard position. Veteran guy, has shown that he is a capable point guard. And right now, the only point guard on the Phoenix Suns. Shooting guard Devin Booker. Ryan Dunn at the small forward position, adding some size and some real defense. Kevin Durant at the 4 for obvious reasons. And Yusuf Nurkic at the center position for the Phoenix Suns. That is how I would align my Suns starting lineup. No Royce O'Neal, no Bradley Beal. Here really quickly is why I threw Royce O'Neal out of the starting lineup. The Phoenix Suns have a couple of young guys. They got Oso from the second round of this year's NBA draft, and more interestingly, Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn has to grow up fast. If the Suns, if and when they make the playoffs, Ryan Dunn has to be a key contributor. Not so much on the offensive end, but definitely on the defensive end. He has to grow up fast. And what better way to grow up fast than to inject him in the starting lineup in the NBA? Now, he might show in the Summer League he's just over his skis. He's got no idea how to do that. That might happen. No solution there to that. But a guy coming out of Virginia, we've talked about it with Mike Barber last week, of a Virginia newspaper covering the ACC, covering Ryan Dunn. Seems like a high character guy. He's got to grow up fast. Royce O'Neal already knows how to play this position. I would start him, and I'd let him deal with the issues that he would have on this team at the beginning portion. They're not expecting any offensive output from him. But Ryan Dunn, I would start over Royce O'Neal. That I don't feel like is a super hot take. Here's the hot take. Here's the thing I've been championing for 6 months on the show, whether with Jody, whether on my own filling in. The best version of the Phoenix Suns is one in which Bradley Beal goes to the bench. Bradley Beal is clearly a square peg trying to fit in a round hole on this Suns starting lineup. He just is. We saw it all last year. Doesn't mean he can't finish the games. Doesn't mean when they need a bucket, they start Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal at the end of the fourth quarter. I get that. The Phoenix Suns are essentially asking Devin Booker and Bradley Beal to do way too much at the point guard position. It's not something that neither of them can't do, but it is a position in which it's not necessarily their strong suit. So my belief is that the Suns stick players on this team in the most comfortable position possible, outside of a few guys. Bradley Beal cannot be asked to be this championing point guard in this starting lineup. You know what he can be asked to be, though? A scoring machine in which he's always felt more comfortable with. If you threw Bradley Beal on the bench and just allowed him to be Wizards Bradley Beal, in which his only job is to facilitate a little bit, don't get burned defensively, and get buckets, he can do that. You insert you insert Monte Morris into the starting lineup, everyone knows their role. Monte Morris can bring up the ball. Devin Booker can bring up the ball. You're able to kick it out to shooters like Kevin Durant, like Devin Booker, like Monte Morris. Everything just fits a little smoother. And to people out there, well, you can't have Bradley Beal sitting on the bench. He makes $50 million a year. If your reasoning to start Bradley Beal is just because of the money he makes, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be making decisions for anything basketball related. I couldn't care less about what Bradley Beal makes. I couldn't care less about it. Truly, I don't care. Never has crossed my mind. What they're paying Bradley Beal is irrelevant right now. What the Suns need to do is figure out how to save their team and save their future assets that they allocated to this team. The best version of the Phoenix Suns is Bradley Beal going to the bench. Is Bradley Beal being one of the best scorers in the NBA off the bench? Is Bradley Beal transforming back into Wizards Bradley Beal and not being asked to do things he's not comfortable with? It doesn't mean Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant won't be on the floor at some points. But to start the game, to give everyone a little bit more comfort in what they normally do, make Monte Morris the true point guard. Let Devin Booker be the shooting guard. Ryan Dunn the small forward so that he can mature into a role, hopefully enough so that he is playable in the playoffs next year. Kevin Durant the 4, Yusuf Nurkic the 5. Let Bradley Beal come off the bench and just cook. That is the best version of the Phoenix Suns. And I couldn't care less what other players make. And if Bradley Beal doesn't want to come off the bench, brother, you can waive your no-trade clause whenever you would like. Because it's not like he's still not going to see every bit of that $50 million contract. I'm not into the making people happy business. I am into the what is the best version of the Phoenix Suns business. And so should you.